Okay, so a couple of things to remember is that Healthy Habits Challenge is kind of an overall wellness. It's not just diet, it's not just exercise, which is what we focus on a lot. And Lindsay talked a lot about that, didn't she? About how there's so much more involved. Stress is huge, right? And we need to learn to manage it or to avoid it so that we don't have that kind of stress. So one of the things that the program does is we use competition between the teams to help motivate us, plus we use cooperation with our own team to help motivate us. So we have our own support group already. And so it's good to have a support group, and we tend to be more successful with a support group. So I have most of your teams, but I do need team names for the Kirk Six before you leave today. And Tina's team back here. And I still, if you're not on a team and would you like to be, I still have one team that could use 1 or 2 more members. So talk to me afterwards if you're interested. And I think everybody here responded to their email. Is that true? Some people forgot to type their names at the top. And it came through, yeah, with the team. But there was more than just 1 or 2. There was quite a few. So we picked up, and hopefully you're getting those emails. So just remember that next Monday is when we'll really start, and you have to report on that Monday. Also, there are 4 R's to this program. And the first one is to record. So make sure you record your points every single day. Because if you wait until Saturday and you're trying to figure out what you did on Tuesday, if you're like me, you're not going to have any clue what happened. And if you record every day, it makes you more accountable and more aware of what you're doing. So record every day. Then make sure you read your emails, not skim. Read all your emails. I'm just teasing you. So read your emails because there will be information in there that you will probably need. So make sure you do that. And the next one is to respond on Monday. Remember, that's how you get your rebate. And the 4th one is rebate, because you want your money back, right? Because that's a good thing. And I'm happy to give it to you. So we're just going to review those challenges for a minute. So the physical activity is for 30 minutes. Like Lindsay said, it doesn't have to be 30 minutes in a row. You can do 10 minutes here, 10 minutes there, and 10 minutes someplace else. It doesn't have to be all in a row, and it can be whatever you want to be. One of the things is if you are just barely starting an exercise program and getting physically active, please follow your doctor's recommendations. I don't want to be responsible for any ill effects. So if you have any health issues or anything, modify those so that they fit your needs. We're still looking at the 30 minutes, 6 days a week.
So Cindy, I had someone ask me today if yoga was considered.
It is.
I said, well, it's still pretty healthy.
It is.
I said it should be, but.
Because there's some physical activity, that's stretching.
Last night's meeting.
Yoga is actually considered a weight-bearing exercise.
Right, and I knew that, but.
Yeah. So yes.
It can be just as stressful, it's just not the active. She says, well, it's not really active, but.
Yeah, but it's still a physical activity that you can do.
Right.
So keep that in mind. The second one is our water consumption. And we have some kids in our program that are under 18 that probably are going to struggle with the 64 ounces. So a good rule to follow is drink half your weight. So if you weigh 100 pounds, you should be drinking 50 ounces. So for the kids that are below that 64, just go ahead on your sheets and exchange it and put that number in that you need to. Because we don't expect you to get to your 64. Which that means, and I'm not requiring it, but if we weigh 200 pounds, what should we really be drinking? 100 ounces. Which I'm not requiring at all. We're just all trying to get to our 64. So some of you are drinking more, and that's great. But just kind of be aware of where you're at with that. But that's a good rule of thumb for that. The other one, no cell phone use in your vehicle. So many studies have shown that even hands-free phone use when you're driving is distracted driving. And distracted driving is causing a lot of accidents and a lot of injuries and a lot of deaths. And so that's why we stay away from that one. And like you see, besides that, it's illegal, right? Just saying. Follow the law.
Talk on your radio, is that what you're saying? Like,
Yeah, that's hands-free, so you can't do that either.
Is that one illegal?
As long as you're not manipulating your phone.
But it's illegal for this. right?
Yeah. But the other is actually illegal,
Okay.
against the law. So be aware of it. The thing is with the phone use, and you've probably already noticed, have you been sitting in your car and your phone's rung and you're like, I can't pick that up. Okay, but like I say, I commute to work a big, maybe 3 to 4 minutes, right? Do you think I can manage to get to work and wait for 5 minutes before I make that phone call? It's not an emergency. Now, if it's an emergency, I might actually get on my phone, but it's not. Now, some of you commute 30 minutes to work, which makes it a lot harder. But here we are trying to multitask. And can our brain actually multitask?
No.
It can't. Your brain can actually focus on one thing at a time, so it's flipping back and forth the whole time. So if you're on your phone, there's a time period where your brain isn't looking at the road or thinking about driving. So just kind of realize that. The other one, the meditation or the reading for 10 minutes, it needs to be calming. Do we ever take time to sit and relax and not think? Because maybe that's what we need to do. And so that's part of that one. Do you have any other to go with those? And if you've noticed on your sheet, next week there's an extra added challenge. It's tracking your food. And Kailey's going to talk about that for just a minute.
Okay, so who noticed that you have to track your food next week? Did you guys all notice that? Okay, so why would we want you guys to track your food? What would be the reason behind it? Yes. Exactly. So it's not about even judging yourself about what you're eating. It's more just to make you aware of what you're putting in your mouth and make you accountable for like where you're getting all your calories from throughout the day. So I just have some little things about food diaries that are kind of interesting. So your food diary should be about guidance, not judgment. It's not meant to tell you what you should and what you shouldn't eat. It's more just to help you, guide you about what you should be eating. So like for example, you might, maybe next week you're taking down your food and you will look at it at the end of the day and you realize, I have not ate any vegetables today. So you can kind of just look at that and kind of guide you where you should be taking your food for like the next day. So food diaries offer protection against hidden calories. So we just get to see where our calories are coming from. And it's just with the awareness thing again, making sure that we're aware of where we're getting them. We might not think something has a lot of calories, maybe one of our favorite meals that we make our families. But if we like put it in one of these apps and like track our food and like how much we ate, you might be surprised at how many calories it has and what that meal's adding. So maybe you would want to think about in future use just changing that meal around a little bit to make it a little bit healthier. Food diaries burn more calories than exercise. Well, sort of. It's just far easier to not eat the calories, like eat over the calories you should be eating, than it is to burn the calories. So it takes most people nearly an hour of vigorous exercise to burn 500 calories. And how easy is it to eat 500 calories? It's pretty easy. It's very easy to eat 500 calories. Okay, so food diaries often will help you lose weight, and we're not a weight loss program. This isn't a weight loss program. But a lot of times when you do look at the things that you are eating and switch them out for healthier options, you do tend to lose weight. Food diaries must be complete. Sorry, I read that wrong. Food diaries must be complete to be useful. So how useful are they if we don't record like the right amount that we ate, or even record our food correctly? And you're not going to cheat anybody but yourself if you don't record the right amount and how much you ate too.
Is there like a website or something that we can like keep
There's lots of apps.
Yes, and that's what I was just gonna talk about. So there's lots of apps if you've ever heard of, like my favorites are MyFitnessPal, and there's a MyPlate app too, and I believe they're both just free apps. And you just search your food that you're looking for, and it just adds it right in, and you can record breakfast, lunch, dinner, and snacks, and you can even record your water intake if you want to do that too.
There's also one on, if you have a Fitbit, on your Fitbit
On your
account.
Fitbit too.
You can
Yes,
record.
there is. Yeah. And does anyone know of any other apps?
Lose it.
Lose It, Calorie King. See, there's lots of different ones. So you can look at them, and most of them are free too, so you can just download them and maybe even see what kind of layout you like best. There's also the Super Tracker website. They don't have an app, but you can get on the website and put in your food too. It's a really great one. I wish they had an app for that one. Or you could even just do it as simple as writing it down in a notebook. You won't be able to really see unless you go look up like the calories and stuff, how many like calories and things like that you're getting. But it really does, even just writing it down, it really just makes you more aware of what you're putting in your mouth. And when you take a food diary, you want to make sure to not even wait till the end of the day to do it, because a lot of times like you get towards the end of the day and you're like, oh, I had this for breakfast, but it's hard to recall exactly how much you had. And so if you just record it right then, you know how much you had and exactly what you had, and even like with snacks, because you might have forgot that you ate something throughout the day. So if you just record it like right then, and a lot of times you might not be able to record it right then, but if you just even want to take a picture so that you have that physical image to look at for the end of the day, like if you're using like Super Tracker website and you're just going to get on once a day and do it, you could just take a picture, and then that way you won't forget anything that you had. Okay, so food diaries must be accurate to be useful. So if you're not very, like if you don't know like what a 1 cup serving of something looks like, or even a half a cup serving of what it looks like, then get out your measuring cups and measure it. And we're only doing this for a week, so it's not that hard, just for those couple days, to pull out your measuring cups and get the correct size and serving amount that you are eating. Food diaries are a great tool for investigation. So if you've had like some food intolerances or something and something's been bugging you, start keeping a food diary, and you probably will figure out what's been bugging you, because you can go back and say that night you have a stomach ache, what did I eat today? And you can see patterns too. And food diaries serve as a shield against mindless eating. So it just helps us make us aware of what we're putting in our mouths. We don't want to sit down on the couch and you just start eating in front of the TV and you don't realize what you're putting in your mouth. Where if you're keeping a food diary, you kind of think about it. And even with me, when I keep one, I'm like, I don't want to eat that because I don't want to put that down on my paper. So they really do help. And if anyone has any questions?
No, I just think you're right about when you have to write it down, then you have to mentally think about, do I want it that bad? Because like at night, if I brush my teeth right after dinner, I won't eat the rest of the night because I brush my teeth and done my flossing and that regimen. And it's kind of like with writing it down. After dinner, if I've written down what I've eaten and I'm done with it, that's where I stop.
That's where you stop. You don't want to do it again.
You have to ask yourself, do I really want to eat
Yep.
that? Because I have to go document it.
Yep, exactly. Well, any other questions or comments? No? Okay.
All right, any questions about the program itself? I think everyone's pretty good to go, right? Understand what we're doing, and are we moving right along? Have we been successful so far? For the most part, right? One of the things I really want to encourage you to do is kind of come into this with an open mind. You know, a lot of times you say, well, I've just been like this for all my life and I don't know if I really change, or I don't think if I switch this up it's really going to work or make a difference. But I think if we come into this with a positive, open mind, we have a better chance of being successful. And we can see some results. And that's why we do our assessments at the first. Kind of helps us to know where we're starting. And as Kailey said, we did not design this as a weight loss program. That being said, the majority of the people that follow this program do lose some weight. And so if that's one of your goals, then this can be helpful with that also. So I promised you an hour, and I'm early. I know, I love it. So if you don't have any questions, you're welcome to go. Make sure you sign the roll. And if you need water, take water. And thanks for coming.
Thank you.
Thank you.